Now this scene was revisited several times after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while I'm here, I would like to ask a question of Ed and Barbara, because I consider you guys to be two of the best experts on this topic in the world, probably. And this is, and if I answered this, I know what my answer would be, but I want the answer to come from you. Is there any possibility at all that this perpetrator didn't leave blood evidence at that scene?
Who wants to take that?
Well, I want them both to take it, but one at a time.
Like I used to tell Jimmy Cold Case, Jimmy Turnbull, anything is possible. Anything. But this, I don't know. Yes, of course, anything's possible. But I think to stab 4 people multiple times, depending on the knife, Ed and I, we've had several cases where as the knife comes down and hits something hard like bone, your hand slides. Even when there's a hilt, even there was a protective hilt, the hand will slide down on the weapon and cut the person's hand, leaving some blood behind.
Like you said, like Barbara said, anything's possible, but I don't think it's probable.
Yeah.
Okay. There's definitely, his presence is definitely in there. His DNA is definitely in there. Now, and his hairs and fibers in most cases, I believe that's going to be in there too. Possibly saliva, maybe even sweat. His transfer of skin cells to the bedding, to the victims, maybe skin or clothing. There's, as you said, Bill, this Lacard's exchange principle. All right, it's not a theory; it's a principle. It's proven science. Right. You're not leaving there without leaving your presence there, and without taking your presence in that scene away from there. So there's an exchange, and to the extent of the exchange, given the violence that occurred here, I suspect there's a lot of the perpetrators' presence there.
Barbara, could I ask one more question? I've been thinking of this, but there's no one would have the answer other than you and Ed. Based on the fact that you both believe that there's DNA in this crime scene from the perpetrator, one of the problems is he's not in CODIS. And we know that stands for the Combined DNA Index System. There's 2 types of DNA, forensic and offender. Let's just put that aside. So we know that. If he's not in CODIS, should we have a genealogical DNA specialist on the scene here?
Absolutely. They don't even have to be on the scene. They can be in New York and do everything on their computers.
Do you think they've thought of that?
Gosh, I hope so. But yeah, if they have DNA and they have uploaded it to CODIS, it's entirely possible that this is a first-time offender and there would be no prior arrests, and therefore their DNA would not be in the national database or a state or even local database. Right. So I think genetic genealogy is very, very exciting. It's a wonderful crime-fighting tool. And I'm 100. If I were younger, I'd start training in that and take that as my retirement job.
Ed, you got anything on that?
Yeah, I 100% agree with Bill. But now, again, at this point, you take like your 23andMe and Ancestry.com, you're going to probably have to get a warrant to get into the databases. There is one company that you can go to without a warrant and try to do a familiar search in their databases. But the others, I don't know if they've met probable cause to do that. Or you can contact the companies and ask if your DNA is coming back not in the CODIS system.
Can they tell who was murdered first out of these 4, Barbara, based on autopsy?
Ed and I had talked about that last time, and Ed made a terrific point, which was that, the Lacard's principle of transference. If the first person is stabbed, there's blood on the knife. You go to the second person, You're now carrying the blood of the first victim to the second person. You go to the third person. Now you have 1 and 2, victims number 1 and 2. So you're transferring blood with each and every victim. So yes, a good detective, a good medical examiner, a good crime scene technician could tell you which victims and in what order, depending on that, the transfer of blood.